Hi everybody, my name is Bree Hall and I am taking this course towards my Master's of Education in Arts Education. This is my leadership philosophy and action plan. In short, my leadership philosophy is about the people that make up a community or group. Many experiences, my journey, the readings in this course, and some of the theories we've learned about will support my general philosophy. Two things that are really important to my philosophy are passions and values. And that kind of goes hand in hand with Bill George's authentic leadership. My passions and values have always been pretty clear to me. So from a young age, I worked with children with special needs. I've always been involved in art, always been involved in athletics, and those things that interested me and kind of drove me as a child and young adult have definitely shaped my career and who I am as a person and as a leader. Bill George in Authentic Leadership and Ken Robinson in Creative Leadership both talk about raising others. And I think cultivating the leader in other people, cultivating compassion as well as comfort for the people who are either subordinates or the people around you or in your peer group really make you be a leader. And that's kind of what my whole philosophy is based off of.
Just to summarize again my philosophy, very people and team centric, using relationships to cultivate and foster the growth in others, investing in the growth of others towards a common good, and using our passions and desire to work hard to lift those around us up to result in positive outcome for all that are involved. And the references that I looked at for my philosophy were Bill George's approach to authentic leadership and Ken Robinson's creative leadership outlined here. I created a vision statement before diving into my goals. This exercise helped me focus on exactly what goals I wanted to achieve. My vision statement here in regards to my career is to use my compassion, thirst for knowledge, and love for creating to use art as a vehicle for change in education in the K through 12 setting and beyond. In doing this, I'd like to cultivate creativity, self-possession, and confidence in others within my classroom and my field. My focus for these were my strengths, my areas in need of development, as well as my core values. My strengths, as we learned in the Clifford strengths, was learning, responsibility, input, restorative, and positivity. Areas in need of development, these are two things that I gathered not only from the Clifford strengths, but also just in my day-to-day life. Influencing others as well as taking command are two areas in which I'm not super comfortable, and I believe that this action plan will help in both of those. And then just elaborating on my core values of compassion, learning, creativity, responsibility, and community.
Before I get into my overarching goals, I want to talk about the reasons behind both of them. I've been in the classroom for 7 years, and even with all of that time, I do still feel like there are certain things that I need to focus more effort in, and I want to take that time, the time that I have now at home, through the beginning of the school year, whenever that might be, to kind of redevelop my curriculum for my adapted arts class. So that's my class for young adults and adults with special needs, as well as my Art 1 curriculum, which is Introduction to Art. We're going to be changing within my whole district the way that classes are laid out. In the past, I've had semesterly schedules where I see my kids every single day for one semester. So that might be August to December. And then I have another group of kids from January to May. This coming school year, they're changing that so that I have kids for the full year, but every other day. Because we are taking this jump, we're going to have a longer time with our students. I really want to take this opportunity to redevelop what my niche in art education is. I want to find my thing, and I kind of have an idea of where my strengths are, but I really want to reflect, journal, organize my information and the feedback from my students to make sure that I'm best doing what I can do for them and for myself as a teacher. My second overarching goal is to take steps to be a leader within my field. That might be in my classroom, in my building, within my county, in the state, even at the national level, because I do eventually want to attend and present at the National Education Association conference. And so I talk about the steps using the outcomes of my first goal to kind of dictate how I become a leader in my field through the actions of my second goal.
Here's my first overarching goal, refining my niche in art education. My idea was that if I could provide the best instruction, most organized curriculum, it can not only help make my students feel comfortable in my classroom, but also increase their learning and engagement. My first action to try to achieve this is to redevelop my adapted art curriculum through research, collaboration, and reflection. Adapted arts is a class that I teach to high school and post high school students that have varying levels of special needs. I want to use my own personal data, acquire new resources, reflect on my past 2 years of teaching this course, and to reuse and redevelop lessons to better address my students' needs. I also want to collaborate with other adapted arts teachers and use the time that I have leading up to the next school year to redevelop my curriculum and plan for units and lessons for this coming school year. My second action is very similar to the first, but for a different course. It's my Art 1, my introductory course. Over the past 7 years, I've taught this course probably about 20 times. It's the one that I feel the most comfortable with, but I do feel like I'm starting to fall into a routine where I'm not thinking outside of the box or developing curriculum that's as new and as engaging for my students because I've kind of done it a bunch of different times. So I want to create like a toolbox for myself that has new journal entry prompts, new artists of the days that are scheduled for each week, and a more accessible curriculum schedule for myself so that I'm presenting the best information for my students that they can benefit from in an engaging way so that they find value in the course. This is something I'm going to dedicate 1 day a week for the next 15 weeks leading up to the new school year to do. The last one is the action that I find to be the most important in this, and this is to journal and reflect. Because of the time that I have had in the classroom, I've come up with numbers of different ways that have either worked or didn't work throughout the past 7 years, and I don't have all of those thoughts in one place. So this year I really want to focus on reflecting and journaling the experiences I have in the classroom and record student feedback through surveys so that I can later use it to my best advantage. My second overarching goal is to take steps to become a leader in my field. This is going to take place within my building, within my district, and it could even take place at the state and national level, depending on how far I want to take this. The first action is to be more involved in my county and district leadership. I want to do this by joining the Fine and Performing Arts Advisory Committee that kind of uses different funds, holds different events, plans specs for new art rooms that are either being redone or being built in new buildings, so that I can kind of get my foot in the door at the county level within my district. And I'm also going to continue my leadership in extracurricular activities as a head coach. My second action is to collaborate and share through job-like peer groups of other high school art teachers within my county and peers outside of my county. I can do this by creating Google Drive shares with lessons and resources that work for each other, like for myself as well as other people, so that we can collaborate. Attending conferences at the state, like the Virginia Art Education Association, or at the national level at the National Art Education Association conference this coming school year or the years to come. My third action is pretty general and just to finish my master's degree. I only believe I'll have time to take one class a semester going forward, so I should be able to finish before year 2024. Here is a more condensed version of the timeline. We have things that I'm going to be working on this summer. So that's Goal 1, Action 1, and Goal 1, Action 2 across that top bar. Then as we enter the school year, I'm going to be moving into Goal 1, Action 3, as well as my goal 2, action 2, and action 1 through being more involved in my school and the journal and reflection. Outside of this school year, there's other things that I can be doing in years to come, and that's finishing my graduate degree and presenting at conferences or participating in conferences at the state and national level. Thank you so much for listening to my action plan. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy in these very strange times that we're having. And good luck with the rest of your coursework.